All right, you're back. John Fredericks Radio Network. Joining me now, Dale Bellis. Dale is the founder and the president of Liberty HealthShare, my HealthShare company. You know what? I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the best thing I've ever done. It is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, they have 300,000 members. I don't know why they don't have 3 million members or 30 million. All you got to do, you get in. It's amazing. I was caught up in the Obama healthcare rat race, the Obamacare rat race. This was a disaster for my family. My premiums were $500. Obamacare comes along, my health insurance gets canceled. I try something else, that gets canceled. Now I'm stuck with Obamacare. This is 4 years ago. My premiums were $500. They went to $1,000. That's $6,000 annually. I don't have an extra $6,000 lying around. So if I continued it, I would have had to take my son out of Catholic school, and we're Catholic, and that's a top priority. But there's only so much money there. My deductible, it was $1,500. It went up to $10,000. So I had catastrophic insurance, and I was paying $1,000 a month. If I cancel it, I pay the fine. What a nightmare that I was in. I didn't have insurance, and the government was extorting money from my family and kicking my son out of Catholic school. So here's what we did. My wife, Ann, found Liberty HealthShare. It's been a godsend for us. We've been on it now 4 years. Best thing since sliced bread. My share amount went from $1,000 premium. My share amount, $550 a month for a family of 3. And that's because I weigh in at 265 instead of like 195 or 200, whatever I ought to be. So I got to pay the fat tax. That's just part of it. Okay, that's my slang. And then our unshared amount, which in the old world is called a deductible, is $500 per person or $1,500 max. You give them the card. I go to any doctor, keep my hospital, keep my care, keep this, keep that. Plus, I get all the free checkups that a male has to do at my age, 59. So does the Fräulein. Everything gets checked out. Our son gets checked out. Everything gets paid. No hassle, no paperwork. Best thing why everybody's not on. In fact, I got the answer to the Republicans. Just repeal everything and tell everybody to call Liberty HealthShare or go to libertyhealthshare.org and you're good to go. Now their founder is with us, Dale Bellis. Dale, good to have you with us, man.
John, it's such a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you and your invitation.
Now, everything I said, true, right? Everything.
It is right on the mark, and it makes me reflect on the fact that really what you've been talking about is the mindset or paradigm that has been inculcated and preached in our nation for almost 2 generations, since the end of World War II, that the only way to meet health care costs is through health insurance. And you and I and the members of Liberty HealthShare are here to say, wait, there's a whole different methodology for meeting health care costs. And that's joining a like-minded community based on ethics and religious values where we protect one another from our money being used in ways we don't want it to be used. And number 2, that we do it on the basis of mutual aid and mutual assistance, because that's our deep-felt motivation, to assist others whenever they have a need. That's a whole different paradigm and basis for meeting healthcare costs. And that's what healthcare sharing and Liberty HealthShare is all about. It's a whole new paradigm shift.
But, you know, you can have the paradigm shift, Dale, but then you need the company there to stand behind it and figure out how to get it done. And for the life of me, I can't believe anybody that doesn't have subsidized insurance through the government or through their big company where, you know, you pay a portion of it. I get that. But I got to tell you, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're part of the gig economy on a 1099, if you were the smaller company, if you own a small company, and you cannot provide or don't have access to subsidized health insurance, if you don't call Liberty HealthShare, I don't know what else to say. You're nuts, because it is the best thing that I've ever done, and it's the greatest thing for my family. Let me give you the number, 855-585-4237. 855-585-4237, or go to libertyhealthshare.org. And the thing is, Dale, I've told so many of our listeners, I've said, look, they don't bite. Don't be scared, right? They're very nice people. Just call them up or email them. Go to libertyhealthshare.org. and fill out the little thing online and ask for a quote. And I had somebody call me up the other day, and they're like, yeah, I did that thing. I thought it was a typo. They said, okay, I probably didn't put that out. I was a family of 4. I probably just put it for me, because they couldn't believe the number they got back. Dale, can you run through in the proper vernacular just some of the numbers?
Sure. Every month we ask our members to set aside what we call a suggested share amount that hasn't changed over the last 3 years, because it's been adequate to meet all the medical bills that our members share together, person to person and member to member. But it's $199 for a single, $299 for a couple, $449 for a family of 3 or more. That goes into a online account. We call it a share box. And transparently and openly, you see your dollars then get matched to another member who has medical bills. And so your dollars flow from your online account to theirs. You see that transpire, and you have an opportunity to message them with cheer or encouragement or prayer, whatever the case may be. And then we cut the checks directly to the doctors and hospitals. So like a true social community, we're standing there with one another through medical expenses and sometimes, John, the biggest crises of our lives. So if you think about crowdfunding in today's world, that's what we do every month to our members' medical expenses, and asking a sufficient number of singles, couples, families to help pay that bill, and then that community's there for you whenever that expense may occur for you.
So, Dale, I know you're growing Liberty HealthShare by leaps and bounds. Is there ever a time where you're going to get too big in order to provide the great level of service that you have now?
It's certainly my intention and expectation that is, as we improve on technology, as we improve on the ability of member-to-member connections, that's where the action is. It's not, and obviously customer care and their experience is vital and crucial, but it's what the members themselves accomplish and do every month that really, really matters. And so the scalability of our resources and services have proven not to be an issue.
Well, and you've gotten rid of the middleman. I mean, that's where a lot of the cost savings come in, is just running your business. And one of the things that I love about Liberty HealthShare is when we pay our share amount every month, you get to see exactly where it goes, exactly who it's going to, if they feel like sharing that. If you don't, if you want, you can hit the privacy button, and then you don't know. But if you're open to it, it'll show, like, I'm going to Larry who's getting a colonoscopy, or, I'm going to Mary that Mary's daughter Alice broke their arm. I mean, you can see exactly where your money goes. And, when you send that check into Obamacare, that thing's just going to a black hole. So, where the hell that's going. But you get to see exactly, all right, I'm sending $500. This is exactly where it's going to be applied. And so it's kind of an uplifting feeling, Dale. Don't you agree with that?
I refer to it frequently as relational health care. That is building interrelational connections with others. And we hear on the news and in the public discussion the sense of disconnection and separation, that we need to build bridges of connection. Here's an opportunity in the most important area of our lives that's really been a part of the national conversation to really build strongly on the interconnections of a community with one another. And that's what makes such a difference, especially with our members saying it's such a significance. It gives me such a feeling of significance and value when my money is going to another person, and as you just said, not to a company black hole.
Well, exactly, that's it. And now Obamacare didn't get repealed, Dale, and it didn't get replaced. No repeal, no replace. So you're back to the same thing. You're still on it. They had the enrollment period coming up. A lot of people have asked me, well, what's the enrollment period? How does that work?
Well, thankfully, under the Affordable Care Act, and we're grateful for it, there's an entire section of the ACA that exempts the members of a recognized healthcare sharing ministry, of which we're one, which simply means we help each other, and we're exempt under the ACA from both the mandates which includes the open enrollment period and the fines for not having insurance, because we're not insurance and don't want to be. And so we're not subject to that open enrollment period, although America seems to have become trained that this is the time of year when they start making changes and alterations to the way they pay for health care costs. But individuals and families and et cetera can join with Liberty HealthShare any month in the course of the year. We're not subject to that open enrollment period.
All right. Well, the fact that there's no open enrollment period is a huge asset. We're out of time. I want to thank the founder of Liberty HealthShare, Dale Bellis, for being with us. 855-585-4237. 855-585-4237, or go to libertyhealthshare.org, libertyhealthshare.org. Get a quote. Dale, it's always a pleasure to be with you. Thanks for being with us.
John, thank you so much. God bless.